Hey, everybody. Welcome to Squared Up. I'm Bill Swinford.
And I'm Monica Daniels.
And I'm Tom Mann.
We are here in the man cave
Yes.
for another episode of our favorite podcast, the one we're in. And it's nice to be with
Because
you.
we get to spend time with our dear friend Tom.
Yes,
Such
yes.
a joy every week.
Yes.
It's nice and cool down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's hot everywhere else, right?
It sure is.
Yeah. It's a great place to hibernate. Well, the opposite of hibernate. It's to get cool off.
So I didn't tell you the AC in my building, in my side of the building, broke. And so it's sweating
You're kidding.
the last day and a half. Now,
Yeah.
the guy came and fixed it this afternoon. What happened is that the filter had fallen into the system, basically clogged it up.
It
Got
gave up.
sucked
right?
into it, and then air wasn't circulating, and the system then froze. He was able to take it apart and show me all the icicles where it had not had the warm air moving through it, and so it had just sat there with pipes getting frozen over.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my.
So it was, but it was still doing a little something, but not near enough
Yeah.
to keep us anywhere close to where we want it. And we have people in our office, not just me, but other people in our office that really like it nice and cool and comfy in there. Now, Melanie, who sits in the front, loved it because she normally has a space heater on year round.
Yeah.
She doesn't like how cool we keep it.
Yeah.
But Riley and I and Rob were the ones there today. We were sweating.
You're suffering, huh?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of ACs going down. The AC repairmen have been really busy. My AC broke too.
Yeah, that's right.
And
That's right.
Some of my friends at their workplace, they lost their AC.
It's hard for the AC to keep up with this 90-degree day after day after day.
Wow.
It's been a warm June, and we're just now kind of getting into what's supposed to be the real heat of the summer. So
Oh, yeah.
hang in there, everybody.
I've been so close to a heat stroke all week.
Yeah, but made it through.
We sure did.
It's Friday here as we're recording this. Not sure when you're seeing it, but we've had a great week. We've had a great last weekend. We'll talk a little bit about that. Next weekend, or the weekend coming up as you're watching this, is the 4th of July. There's stuff happening, of course, in Marion, as it always happens in other towns.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk about our new koozies.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say about that. We're no longer advertising for the
Fuji.
Fiji water.
Fuji Water has yet to send us $1, so we've covered up Fuji Water.
Fiji.
Fiji?
Island of Fiji.
Well, no wonder they're not sending us
Yeah.
any money. Now we have our official Watermark Auto Group koozies
That's right.
provided by our friend John Sloan. And Watermark Auto Group sponsors just about everything that Swinford Media Group does. So I'm glad to have them represented. We also have a
Stress ball.
stress ball. Now,
Meant for squeezing and not throwing at people.
you don't know how bad we need this. At least I do. You don't know how bad this is needed, the stress ball, right?
Right.
It's a stressful time right now. It's a beautiful time, wonderful time in my life. There's a lot going on, isn't there?
We have a lot on our plate.
Yes. And
we're
so,
working on.
but here's what I thought this would be good for. We are now over a year into this podcast. This is episode 45.
Yeah, I think it's 45 we're doing right now.
So we're pushing our 52nd, will be kind of, I guess, a year worth of episodes, but we've been doing it for more than a year. And so I thought it would be a good time for us to
throw that at Tom?
well, no, not necessarily, although that might be an element of it. We didn't have any pre-podule counseling that happened before we decided to podcast together.
Pre-podule.
And we are getting ready to go through some level of pre-marital counseling.
We are.
And we missed our pre-podule counseling. Now, that being said, I think we've had a great honeymoon, the three of us. But
The three of us. Okay.
but it's time to have some counseling. And so what this would be good for is one of those exercises where you have to be holding the ball to get to talk. And maybe next time we get together, we all air our grievances with each other.
Okay.
Okay, so plan for that.
All right.
Everybody prepare the grievances. It shouldn't be that hard. I mean, I'll narrow mine down. I'll cut down my list. And we will
Probably like the one when Tom is squeezed back on the picture.
yes,
Things
that-
like that. Or the audio
No,
podcast.
those are both. those
Whole
are
podcast, and there was
all right.
no audio.
We don't have to bring those
right?
up next week because that was 1 and 2 on the list. Yeah, if you missed last week's episode of our podcast, it's a whole different look.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but it does the job. But the way this will work is, if you've ever done this, is you can't talk unless you have the ball. Everybody will be limited in the amount of time they can keep the ball, and then they toss the ball to somebody else, who then gets to share their own personal grievances.
That sounds like a pod breakup.
No.
It's pod therapy.
Not
That's what he said.
necessarily.
Pod therapy.
It could happen, but I don't think that's what will happen.
Pod therapy.
If we feel it going that direction, we'll just cut it off right there.
All right, sounds good.
Now that has the logo. What logo is on that one?
Well, this is Watermark.
Watermark
This
as
is
well?
the Watermark stress ball.
We need to get 3 of those.
Oh yeah. Well, Monica's already got one.
Okay. You guys need to bring me
We
one.
don't even have a koozie for you, Tom. I'm sorry.
I know, that's all right.
That's all right.
I'm right now not even drinking anything because of that. I'm so thirsty, though.
Well, here's to Tom.
All right. Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
It's such a hot day. I'm so glad to have this ice cold water that Tom provided. That he does not have one of his own.
You know, Bill came in and went right to the refrigerator first.
And you
didn't he?
can't,
Yeah.
and you can't
That's
have
what
your
it's
own
at.
Tom, because it's official. We have to cover up Fiji.
Okay. Fuji.
Fuji?
No, it's
Oh,
Fiji. Fuji waters.
We don't
Fiji
even know
water.
what we're drinking.
So what have we been doing that we can talk about?
Well, let's see. Last Saturday, we went to the farmers market in Carbondale.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
It was a lot of fun. I think it's the best farmers market in the area. They have so many vendors.
Lots of good farmers markets in the
There
area.
was a-
We're not here to offend others, but
There was one vendor that makes homemade yogurt.
Really?
Yeah, and I had the black raspberry yogurt. Mm-hmm. Bill had the
strawberry.
strawberry.
So good. Mm-hmm. I don't know who that farmer was, but man,
It was really great yogurt.
a lot of dairy and egg stuff, right?
There was. And
Had his
we
own milk. You could buy milk from him.
We had a lot of vegetables, a lot of tomatoes, zucchini,
Another farmer.
squash.
Wonderful peaches from this particular
Mm-hmm.
farmer. Another farmer. Again, couldn't tell you who they were. It was great stuff.
It was really good
We're
stuff.
not helping anybody.
So there was, let's see, I think there was a bison ranch
Oh, yeah.
that had pulled up there. So if you like bison meat, there was wild caught salmon.
Our
So they
friends-
even had seafood.
Our friends from the square were there.
Yes, Glacier's End. Was
Glacier's
there.
End was there with
Yeah.
their interesting products.
They have a lot of great sauces and
Yeah.
elderberry sauce, a lot of different sauces. Yeah.
We need to do something with them connected to this podcast at some time. And I don't think enough people know about Glacier's End, but they kind of grow and create their own products too, right?
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
homegrown.
so many local farmers are finding creative ways to present their products locally. And gosh, if there's one thing you've taught me, how important it is, one, to support local farmers, but two, how good it is for your health to eat local produce and products and honey and those kinds of things. That's what I'm into now.
Yeah.
So we also then went to the co-op,
Yeah, the food co-op.
which has so many other things like that,
Yeah,
including honey.
including the honey and a lot of great vegetables and a lot of products, a lot of unique things that you can't really find at our local grocery stores. So
I think we've probably talked about the co-op before, but it's a good
it's one of our favorite places.
good visit. Good reason to go to Carbondale.
Yeah,
And then we came back
and then we came back.
and we did other stuff.
We did.
Yeah,
What did we
remember?
do?
We did other stuff. It's been all
We
week.
visited your mom.
Oh well,
She
sure.
hasn't been feeling
Well, no, I
She's
mean
been
not
on-
necessarily on. Yeah, no, she's gonna be okay.
So, and that was the first time I got to experience Heron Hospital, and so they had that really beautiful memorial garden
Oh
in
yes,
the middle of Heron Hospital.
That's a nice place.
lovely.
It
Go
was
out, man.
it was really nice. Just a beautiful facility.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything ever happens to me, you can take me there.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I mean, we are really blessed for small town Southern Illinois. We're really blessed with good medical facilities around here, and a lot of good people running them. And I feel really good about not just the SIH hospitals, but Deaconess and others are doing a great job. And so we are happy about that. Now, what else?
We visited your daughter at Beulah Camp.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
We did go to Beulah Camp in El Dorado. Saw her.
Summer, 'tis the season for camps, and there's a lot of great camp opportunities in this area.
Gosh, it felt like there was something else we were going to talk about, though. But I don't remember what it is. So, Tom, what you got?
Well, I don't know. I was just
What
you
you
know,
been
you
doing?
were talking about this week. I've experienced a lot of the heat,
Yes.
and I have a lot of yard I have to cut every week, and so I just enjoyed waking up and going out there at 6:30 or 7 in the morning and cutting the lawn for about 2 hours, and then ending right at about 8 o'clock, and letting my neighbors hear that drone of
Oh,
a
yeah.
lawnmower
Wake 'em
going on. At least I'm a little bit further away than they are, but
So, do you find it's harder to cut your grass in the morning because it's so
no.
heavy with the dew?
Well, it is, and that.
When
But
I would cut grass in the morning, those blades would just get
Yeah.
clogged up, and I was stopping and having
I
to
got
unclog them.
I got a beefy commercial lawnmower because of the size of my property, so it just cuts right through it like butter.
So
And then for me, it was either that or heat stroke. So I thought I would deal with that because you can always cut that several times. But
I've never really had the chance to use one of those big old.
Oh,
I was
they're great.
pushing lawnmowers when they were bigger than me.
they can run
Hands up
over
there.
anything, including trees, and that's happened around here. So yeah,
I just thought of another place I went.
What's
I
that?
went to the Apple Creek Golf Course and Restaurant
Oh, yeah.
in McKanda.
You
Met
did.
a couple of friends there for a nice dinner the other night. Boy, that's a lovely place. You might remember it as you might remember it as the Stone Creek Golf Course and Restaurant. I give that a thumbs up. Such a nice menu. You talk about some of the nicer restaurants we have in the region. That was right up there with it. That experience, the food delicious, service was wonderful. It was kind of quiet.
Wow.
I saw somebody posted today on Facebook asking where's a quiet place you can go for dinner where you can go and you can talk and there's just not a lot of noise. I would recommend this place. However, there was another couple that came in and I realized we were actually pretty loud, so they probably wouldn't say the same thing. Their experience was totally different than ours because we're just three guys and we were all pretty wound up about stuff and we were kind of loud. But hope that we didn't bother them. If you're watching, we're sorry. I really hope they just didn't know who we were because we were just loud. But and then I had my first Sunday back at Pleasant Grove, and been 5 weeks since I'd preached at Pleasant Grove, and it was nice to be back with those folks. And this Sunday service, we honored the memory of my old friend Jeremy Norris, who was
yeah, I wish
the chief of the Williamson County Fire Protection District.
guy.
Our kids at Pleasant Grove have collected up blankets and made little cards to go with them, and given the Fire Protection District blankets in Jeremy's memory that they can then present to families that are going through fires, just to carry on the truck, and they're nicely wrapped up and things. They did such a nice job having that already. I got back just in time to be involved in that presentation. So I love that they did that, and Jeremy's family was all there, and it was
His wife.
It was a beautiful experience. His mom and dad as well, good people, and so
It's
it's been a good week, and we got stuff coming.
yeah,
We do. So
the next
July
week.
4th fireworks, and
everywhere.
you've got something special going on for July 4th.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah. So Marion puts on a pretty good celebration,
Yeah.
and really, it's the Knights of Columbus that traditionally have put on that celebration and do a heck of a show. And so we've live streamed from there before. Last few years, they've had not just a carnival, but they've had live music for not just 1 day, but 3 days. Some of the best local bands playing. John Stecklin, who is a city commissioner in Marion, and he's known as the Commissioner of Fun because he knows how to put on something fun. And he's been doing ACT long before he became a city commissioner. He's been involved in leading up this fireworks display and some of the fun around it. And so he reached out to me and said this year, thanks to the help of the Oasis developers, the Oasis family of businesses, they've put in something called Thrillville
something or
thrilling. They put together a thrilling experience for kids with bounce houses and axe throwing. This is
Wow.
not kids. There's adults for there's axe throwing for adults.
dangerous.
Bounce houses for kids. Hopefully they're nowhere near each other, right?
Yeah, right.
And yet this is just a great experience, and part of that is a dunk tank, and he wanted me to get in the dunk tank.
Where's that going to be? I need to show up to that place.
Well, now that I'm
Dunk
thinking
tank?
about it,
What
I'm not
time is
sure I
that?
need to
What
even
is the
be
time?
talking about this. It is.
Yeah.
what time is that on the 4th? Is that
It's on the 4th. It's probably the last thing before the fireworks go off. It's 8:00. I'll be in there. So when the fireworks go off, I'll be soaking wet probably.
well,
Right. And everybody else around you will be as
Love to
well.
see that.
That's when you hit that water.
I'm thank you. Well, that's it. That's the strategy. They were like, "How are we going to drain this thing when it's all said and done?" We'll put Bill last, and he'll drain the thing when he
How many
when he
people
falls
are
in.
getting in this dunk tank?
It's going to go on for 3 days. Well, it'll continue on the next day too. So they still got to keep the water in it. But I will be doing it right before the fireworks usually go on at 9. So me and somebody else are going to be getting dunked. Now, I've never done this before. Of course, I'm like everybody else. I've seen this on TV. This used to be one of my favorite shows on TV when I was a kid. Was Battle of the Network Stars. It was kind of like Superstars. There was a
remember that.
Superstars
Yeah.
competition between athletes from different sports competing against each other in track and field and swimming and canoeing and all these things. And then they put together a Battle of the Network Stars, which was a little goofier version of it, and a dunk tank was part of it. So
except when Lou Ferrigno showed up.
oh
It was
yeah,
the
Lou.
Hulk. Oh man, that was
Lou,
great.
man,
Yeah.
he was a true athlete, but
Yeah.
most of them weren't. You had like Gabe Cotter or Gabe Kaplan.
Kaplan, yeah.
You had, of course, Henry Winkler,
Yeah.
Ron Howard. You always had these overly done-up chicks from different shows. You had probably all 3 or 5 or however many Charlie's Angels there ended up being.
Yeah.
And you had Three's Company people, and you had all these late 70s, early 80s stars out there. I'm sure Laverne and Shirley and they were all doing these competitions, and one of them for some reason was a dunk tank. So I guess that was just like kind of a baseball throw.
Yeah.
And you'd see them go down.
And part of it is you got to taunt the people throwing the ball.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
idea, right?
Yeah.
You're going to love that.
Oh, I will.
Bill, you'll be good at that one.
You'll
You
be
can
very
really
good
let him
at
have it.
A little too good.
I'll be ticking people off left. They'll really want to take me out.
The axe throwers will come over to the dunk tank.
But
They're like, we can't take this guy anymore.
Oh man! Wow. And so,
Give him some
now
ideas.
I'm even more scared. I texted John Steckel and I said, "Look, I've never done this before. I'm not a small guy. Am I going to be able to get back up out of that thing once I go in it? Because I'm imagining, do I have to like pull myself up on this thing, or what this is going to look like?" And he assured me that he didn't assure me that I could do it. He assured me that he also was doing it, and he didn't think he was any more physically capable than I am, and I think he probably is. But
I think it's no more than 15 feet deep, so don't worry about it.
what?
No, I'm just
It's
kidding.
not.
No, it's.
It's like a kiddie
Hey,
pool.
you know what? I don't have that much confidence that anybody's going to even be able to dunk me. So
Okay,
I've
there's
seen
the
a lot of-
challenge.
I've seen a
what
lot
time
of-
is that again?
8 o'clock.
8
8 o'clock on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So
at the ballpark, right?
no, this is at the Knights of Columbus Field. This
Oh,
is
man,
next
we
to
gotta-
this is next to the Casey Hall, which is right next to St. Joseph Catholic Church. That's where they shoot them off. That's where the carnival is. That's where the stage is. A lot of people by that time are going to be like setting up like we do,
I'm gonna
all within the perimeter, watching fireworks. But a lot of people will be miles away, set up to watch the fireworks, so I don't have to worry about those people. But if you manage to get close enough and you want to come
Yeah.
over and throw that ball, try to take me out.
I think I'm going to get there about
dare you.
3 o'clock. I tell my wife Vicky we're going to get there about 3 o'clock.
Get
Why?
in line. Get in line. Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. Sure. Well,
My wife will
I
get
don't
there
know.
at 3
Let's
o'clock.
here, Tom, catch the ball. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, missed
I
it.
got nothing to worry about. That's what I wanted to check. I was going to ask him to throw it, but if he can't catch it, I'm not sure he'll even be able to do it. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks,
Well, that. You're gonna have to do more than that. You can't just hand it to me. You're gonna have to throw it. And,
Too many hands on the
You just
controls here.
Bring a basketball. Maybe if the ball's bigger, I'll have a better chance of
Am
hitting.
I able to?
no basketballs, please.
Hey, I have a baseball story.
Yeah, bring it.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I was known as being a very good pitcher.
Were you? What?
Yeah,
Okay.
not really.
Okay.
I had a friend of mine. His name was David.
Yeah.
David wound up going into college and even semi-pros and everything else. Mm-hmm. And then he wound up being a optometrist.
Okay.
But David was so good, he always hit home runs. He could pitch like nothing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
We looked exactly alike.
Oh.
So, again, this was in the church league, and I remember all in the church leagues. So
Right.
the our coach, certain days I wore David's jersey, certain days David wore mine. So different games, our jerseys were always switched. And so there was this
is
thing.
a strategic move.
Yes.
Okay.
David was so good, he always hit home runs.
Right.
So they would switch the jerseys the very next week, and somehow I would always get walked every time because those balls would come beaming and they would hit me in the head.
Oh, yeah.
They'd hit me in the chest. They do everything they could. And then they always thought that. So what happened was
Because
everybody.
number 15 was known for hitting home runs, and
Yes.
you were wearing number 15.
But everyone thought I was also a very good pitcher.
Okay.
Because they could never figure out that I was the lousy one
Yeah.
and David was incredible. So
Right.
I was sometimes in his jersey. So people would meet me and said, "Man, that was a great game. You know,
Yeah.
that was a great game. Man, you hit that so and so." I'm like, "Yeah." So I always say so, but it was never me.
Right.
I was a lousy one.
Yeah. Well, where I come from, that's called cheating.
Cheating, yes, it was. But again, I want to emphasize it was in the church league.
Yeah, no, I know. I've played plenty of church league ball. I'm not surprised by this at all. Listen, I played in a church league game one time, which in my church league, it was not uncommon to have not just women, because there are plenty of very, very capable ball playing women as softball, but anyway, that was more their sport than ours. But a older woman behind the plate, and one of our overly ambitious players on our team mowed her down at the plate, and not only raised the ire of the other team but his own team.
Oh, wow.
And basically he just quit right there because everybody was mad at him. And he's like, "That's just good baseball." Well, we're playing softball, and that is a 60-year-old female catching that you just
Yeah.
mowed down. I mean, even in real baseball these days, it's not cool.
Yeah.
That was
At my step family's
What a thing.
family reunions, we
Yeah.
would have a softball game, and everybody would come out to play, from the toddlers to the grandma and grandpas and the uncles and the cousins, and we would have so much fun out there.
oh yeah, it's fun until somebody mows somebody down.
Yeah, somebody mows down grandma.
Somebody decides it's way too important to them,
Yeah.
right? And you got those guys. I mean, you end up with a lot of frustrated jocks whose baseball careers did not go on as long as they wanted to. So all they got left is church league softball, and they're going a little too hard at it. Now there's wonderful plays can be made, and obviously you're there supposedly under the commonality of faith and hopefully some kind of eternal perspective on it all. But no, when it comes down to it, you're going
Fortunately-
to cheat and change jerseys.
Fortunately, we were under 12 at the time. So
Oh.
we were kids, the kids league. And then when I got in, the kids
Wow,
league,
these were
even-
children.
Oh yeah. So that's
were these
what it wasn't adults. This wasn't adults. So
You were being taught well. By
yeah,
this.
and then they did the same thing in basketball, and it would happen in basketball. That
Oh,
was
well,
in the school
yeah.
league.
Marion a long time had a church league that was junior high and high school, and there was a lot of shady stuff that it was always a problem. Unfortunately, you wish you could say different, but
But I felt like a great athlete during those days.
well, I thought you were.
Yeah,
right? That's all
yeah.
that matters.
That's
It
all
doesn't
that
matter
matters.
how good you actually are at anything, as long as they think.
And there were occasions they thought David was the bad guy, that he couldn't do
Yeah.
anything. I'm like,
Yeah.
David's the good one, you know. I mean, he's
Poor
like-
David.
No, but he wound up going
David-
far.
Well, it worked out for you. You got
Yeah,
to be.
I did. I got
considered
to
a good
get
poor
on
David.
base all the
David
time. I
ended
got
up going
walked.
far, but
Yeah, he went through college.
But you
played
probably
college
should have.
baseball.
You probably should have had those
Oh.
offers instead, because they thought it was you.
Could have, but it wouldn't have gone any further than
You
at
could have
all.
got signed by the
Were you-
major leagues.
Were you the same class?
We were the same class,
So you could've
same age. We were good
You
friends
could have
too.
traded classes and took each other's tests. If you guys,
I wish I had, because
All right.
David
I
was
don't-
smart.
I
He
bet they're
also
not-
was
but you
in
weren't
the honor
you were not
society.
twins. You just
We
just switched
looked,
numbers.
we looked very much alike.
Oh, that's crazy.
My cousin,
Coloring
I had
and everything.
identical twin cousins, and they would do that all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, if I had that, that'd be great. But see, I would have loved the thing in school, because David was in the honor roll. He was like the only one of two guys that were on the honor roll, and not me. I was like, that bottom 10% of the class. That was me. So
And look at you now.
look at me now. That's why I'm radio, TV. That's what it does. It's what happens. We show up doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I could talk. That's what my gift was. Outside that, forget it.
Gift
See,
of
that's a
gab.
great gift. And you have a great gift.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
thank
the rest
you.
of it, the rest that it's not so great, we'll talk about next week.
Okay,
with
we'll save one of that.
with the ball.
Hey, you guys, which we can't tell where you're going to live because you have invited everybody over to your new place where
No,
you're
we
going
don't
to
want
live.
anybody showing up the first day.
But I was hearing, what was it you were talking about before? That nothing's in your name, Monica. Is that right?
That's right. What is that?
So we're going to talk about this. So what's going on here?
Listen, it just feels like the right thing to do at the time. So yeah,
some
so
perspective here.
we are getting our own place together after we get married, and we're doing some of that paperwork now. And I didn't think about the fact that Monica would want to have all her name on all these things. Of course, her name's going to change,
That's true.
so none of these documents would be legal if you sign them now.
Well, they'd still be legal, but my name will be changing
I
soon.
don't know how that works.
In a
I'm just saying. I thought through all of that stuff ahead of time, and I thought I'd just go ahead and do it. And you took it to mean you somehow took it to mean that I was just looking for a way out.
I think you offered that.
In other words, Bill's name's
is
on
why
everything.
you're
We're not
Monica-
married yet, lady.
Monica's not on anything.
We
I'm
still got
keeping the wedding
we
ring.
still got over a month for this to get messed up.
And we were trying to sneak things in on the lease that weren't like the temperature.
Oh
has
yeah,
to
you don't have to.
stay
You don't need to read the lease, but the
under-
lease does say that our landlord requires a temperature to stay under 70 degrees at all times.
I don't think
Yeah.
And he also limits the number of perfume bottles to 10 or less. Right?
No.
Because
Well, I
it
have
did say
30,
something it
and
did say
they're all
something about
coming with me.
flammable materials and not having too much of that in there.
Wow.
So I feel like there's some danger to these many liquid bottles that you have. So
So
I don't think so.
had to get Bill on
anyway,
that. So yeah. So
Yeah.
Monica,
thanks for bringing that up, Tom.
yeah, you're welcome. So Monica, how'd you feel about that? I really got to know about this.
I mean, I
gonna-
went
we're
over
gonna do our
the
counseling
lease. I
session
don't
next
see
week.
anything in there, but our premarital counseling session.
We haven't even started that yet. And we are going. I will mention. I think we should mention. You all have met Rosia Williams. If you did,
Oh, yeah.
If you didn't know her before, she was on one of our very earliest podcasts. She's
Mm-hmm.
going to marry us along with her husband,
Russell
Russell Williams,
wow.
who they're both now fully ordained elder pastors in the Global Methodist Church, and that is the kind of church that we are part of. And so they are gonna marry us along with our other pastors, Gabe and Sarah Wank, who are going to also be in attendance. And we're thrilled about that, but we all got to kind of sit down and talk through and make plans and then just talk about this kind of stuff. Listen.
That's why you have the stress balls.
There was nothing. Yeah, I'm going to start squeezing this.
Yeah.
Right. There was nothing.
Monica, bring yours next time.
Nothing intended by that, other than the fact that I just don't think our new landlord quite had your name down, Pat. So he didn't put it on the. Listen, I haven't given him back the lease. I can still add you to it.
There you go. Just
You
Yeah.
can do that in the morning.
pencil my name in there.
Again, your current name, not your future name, right?
Yeah.
Right.
doesn't-
We can do both.
Okay. All right.
Monica Daniels, soon to be Monica Swinford.
Hey, let's change the subject. You had one other thing you were talking about beforehand that I said that'd be great for the podcast, but maybe we already got that
No,
out
I
of
don't
the
know
way.
if we got to that or not.
Did we get that out of the way?
Well, I mean, we were talking about the microneedling. I don't know how
Oh,
we
the
can
microneedling
move that. I don't know how I can transition into that.
because of
Your thinning hair.
Oh yes,
You wanna
we
talk
need to
about-
get into this one.
Listen,
so this is another good.
We're really
podcast.
piling up a lot of stuff to talk about next week. Is what we're talking about because we don't need to
We're
talk
going
about
to talk
everything.
about microneedling and your thinning hair.
And
What
my
was-
thinning. My hair
what was
is.
the other thing we were
People
saying?
compliment my hair, but they don't realize it's starting to disappear.
Our next podcast is going to be a Bill and Monica does Monica's makeup.
Yeah.
I know everybody can hear that noise you're hearing. That's Bill banging on the set there.
I love this little ball.
For those who are not
little
watching
balls are
but
great.
listening, it's
You know, would love this is my dog, Gus.
This is going to be really edited.
No, it's not. Not at all.
I want to get back on this microneedling because I need to know about that. I'm
Okay,
worried because
so-
mine's just going
I feel
away.
like Tom's hairline's higher than mine is.
That's
so
true.
let's talk
It
about
is.
that.
So, Bill has brought up his thinning hair, and I recommended
To you, not to the world.
One of the things that we could potentially help with thinning hair is microneedling. It's a procedure that is tiny little needles. It needs to be at least a fourth or longer
A fourth? What?
of
Of an inch? That sounds crazy.
No, I need to Google that. That's not a fourth
A
of
quarter
an
of
inch.
an inch?
Fourth.
Kind of about the depth you use for the yard
don't-
Depth.
when you aerate the yard, right?
So,
No.
base.
I mean, I attach boards together that don't have a quarter-inch
Yeah,
screw in
it's
them.
not a fourth. Like up to, but anyway, so what it does is it's a micro size wound
Okay.
that
Oh, wait, that's
Let's air in, right?
sounds great.
that encourages collagen production, and
Oh.
collagen is what's going to heal, and it encourages the healing and the collagen production in your skin. So that's going to help
It could
with.
be a quarter inch. And now that
elastic-
I'm recalculating. It could be a quarter inch.
and it helps with blood flow, and
Definitely sounds like
and
something
it
I
has
would not be
been one potential remedy to thinning hair. You get
Really?
the blood circulating on your scalp and help with healthy hair growth.
That
Is
a
this
di-
is this something that's going to be part of the premarital contract
Probably
that
should
we're
be.
getting ready to
I
write?
mean, if you want me to microneedle your head,
Are we going to have a prenuptial agreement? That, for instance, that's where we could work in the 70-degree benchmark. We could work in the
But you'll start-
perfume bottles, and we could work in the requirement for microneedling and keeping my hair.
counting hair?
And but it's a skin thing too. Like
Yeah.
I've got a lot of bad skin
it
that
helps
it could
with
be used.
scars. It helps
Yeah.
with elasticity. It helps with the texture of your skin. If you have a lot of
I just do
like
this.
large pores, it helps to minimize the
And
pores.
it's kind of if you do this, it's the same thing.
It's, no, it's not. It
Ta-
stretches your skin.
Tape works.
Actually,
Little
just
duct
stretches
tape.
it.
Yeah.
If you think about it, if you take a rubber band and you're pulling it, it's going to lose elasticity
Oh.
quicker.
Yeah.
That's why people who sleep on the same side every night,
Uh-oh.
they'll probably have more elasticity loss on one side of the face than the
Yeah.
other.
You got to flip.
Mm-hmm.
I do sleep on my side, so it's not good for either side probably.
I sleep on my back. When I was a kid, I used to sleep on my face.
Oh, did you?
Oh.
I don't know why. I had to sleep on my face, and everybody would tell me that you're gonna.
You're
My
gonna kill
brother
yourself.
used to tell me I was going to smother Kate.
Yeah, I would think so.
What do you call it? Smother Kate. I kid you not. But I did that, and then all of a sudden I started sleeping on my back when I
Well,
became
listen,
an
your
adult.
face held up fine through all
Good.
that.
Maybe that's what it was.
But I used to sleep on my back until I was told that I snore like a banshee, and so now I learned to sleep on my side. Now you're telling me it's ruining my
Oh, there's another thing you
Skin
need to
even
put in there,
worse.
Monica.
What's
yeah.
that?
Something about the snoring like a banshee. You need to have something in there. You know, one of those nose things. I don't know.
Those things. You know, I used to wear the thing that athletes wear.
Oh,
or used to
yeah.
wear. They used to wear these. all
Breathe
the time.
right or something.
Breathe
Did
right
that
strips.
work?
Yeah,
I guess kind of.
probably ripped off at night.
I don't know, but you end up with all of this buildup on your nose from those things, and then you have to bathe and stuff.
Yeah,
like
there you
that.
go.
You gotta
Okay,
bathe
there's another one
anyway.
down there.
Yeah, we're gonna put that in the pre.
Put that in there. Yeah,
Let's bathe.
yeah.
Wow.
For the love
I
of
don't know.
God.
I'm really glad I only put my name on the lease. I mean, it's really starting to feel like
You know,
it's going to be a hard.
you know the biggest
Things
thing
going to be harder than I imagined.
in our marriage, and I'll fully admit it. Whenever I take off my shoes for the longest years, I'd never bothered me, but Vicky would say, "Are your shoes off?" I mean, every time she could be on the other side of the room, and she would say, "Did you take off your shoes?" I mean, we're talking about
Wow.
then into the house. She could even say that.
Is that still going on?
No,
Yeah, that me too. My feet have quit sweating.
no, no.
Well, but you found some other solution. Mine just no longer sweat.
No,
which is probably
mine,
not a good sign.
they could. It's just that I used to give up shoes because the shoes wouldn't wear out. They would just smell so bad, you get rid of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I had some warthog house shoes. They looked like warthogs, and they smelled like a warthog. And that was the joke. But so I wound up getting that Mando stuff, and that's what I put on my feet, and it's been wonderful.
Mando.
What is it?
Yes,
Is it
Mando.
powder? Is it a powder?
No,
powder?
it's the little stuff, whatever that gynecologist lady made, and it's the male product called Mando, and I put it on my feet, and
Wait, you're putting a
it's like a miracle
gynecologist
cure.
product on your feet.
Yes, but this is the band version of the same thing, so it's just
Okay.
I know it sounds kind of strange, but it's just it works on my feet, so it's really good.
Well, somebody out there really appreciates that information.
Yeah, I know, but they'll
You're
know what I'm
making somebody's
talking
life
about.
better.
Yeah, no, it's
So-
great. It's just a lotion I put on my
So
feet.
you were having feet stinking issues.
Yes,
You went
yes.
to your gynecologist.
No.
No? What happened?
I just found the product online.
I was
it was
confused,
created
'cause
by
I've
a
never-
gynecologist.
personally, I've never been to a gynecologist.
Neither have I. But this woman created this product. There's a product for women, there's a product for men, and it's great for feet.
Okay.
So that's called Mando.
There's your tip for the week. That's probably more useful than anything.
Yeah,
else
that we
told
should have
us.
said. So
Right.
maybe we have to
Other
cut
than
that part out.
come
I'm not sure.
And dunk you on July 4th.
Come out and dunk me on July 4th. Here's your big chance. Look, I feel like this podcast has gone long enough. We've done a great job. We need to save some stuff. We got a busy next week too, but we'll be getting back together real soon, and we'll tell you how the 4th went. You have a great 4th, and remember, it's all about our independence.
There's code.
As you think about filling out leases and things, remember, it's all about our independence. No, I'm kidding. Listen, in case you haven't heard,
Well-
I need to end this right. In case you haven't heard, I'm getting married on August the 9th.
To me.
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. One way or the other, I'm getting married. And we want you to come out. Aldersgate Church. You're invited.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. You come on out. We've already got a lot of cool things lined up for this wedding ceremony.
Dunk tank.
Including
Dunk
no,
tank?
sorry, that's not part of it. Tom's going to be there.
Yeah, I will be.
Tom and Vicky will be there, and hopefully other people, including you. So come on out and make plans. Save the date, and we will share some cake with you and some punch,
Yeah.
and we'll look forward to meeting you if we haven't met you already. Okay.
Sounds great.
All right.
We'll
Thanks
see.
everybody for tuning in. Anybody else? We good? We good to go?
We need to put these people out of their misery here.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on Squared Up. I'm Bill Swinford.
And I'm Monica Daniels.
And I'm Tom Mann.
Bye.
That stress ball is making me stressed.
It needs a lot of editing on that one. For the love of God.